Uncovering the truth. Analyzing statements on missing children with vital evidence needed.
Reach out to anybody and say, I did that and I asked them to take it down. Please don't do that. That's what DD does. DD spots hoax. He calls it out. Now, he doesn't blast people. He said, maybe you were hoaxed. Let me know. So, again, yeah, just speculating. Deception Detective says they just need to re-upload the other video. Why make a brand new one days later? You sound like Grish. Who in my chat knows who Grish is? When I talk to Grish behind the scenes, DD, he sounds just like you. He's got that analytical mind, and he's not letting shit slide by him. He's not playing. He doesn't care what I say. He show the proof. That's it. That's all he cares about. Show the proof. All right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you do the job. I'll let you. And it is easy to, oh my God, DC primetime. I realize how easy it is to fake screenshots now that I've gotten videos made about me, fake ass screenshots. I do know. So I just want to know what happened. What DD said. Just kidding. I don't know anything. Oh my goodness.
For weeks since Daniel Martell has seen his stepchildren. 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing Friday, May 2nd, after they wandered out of their Pictou County home. They have not been found after weeks of extensive searching the heavily wooded area.
Every day when I wake up, it just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings of from sadness have just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month.
It took a month, but we finally have a news report that gives us more answers about the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan from Nova Scotia than new questions. So in today's video, let's watch this report from CBC News and break it down. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives, early access, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. If you've been following my analysis of this case, you already know how frustrated I've been with how vague and ambiguous the updates have been from the RCMP and the Canadian broadcasters. So before we grab our deception decks and watch this one, here's a quick taste of what I'm talking about, just so you can properly appreciate why I say it's the clearest report we've had in a month.
Based on details gathered so far, we have confirmed that Lily and Jack were observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st.
Being observed in public could be anything from getting caught on CCTV camera footage, which is great, to just simple eyewitness testimony, which is not so great. But what concerns me most about this, and where I've seen most people take the biggest leap about this, is assuming that Lily and Jack were alive when they were seen.
Interesting. That's interesting. I think he talks about the Madeline Soto case next, and that's what drew me to all these updates. Is he's right. Madeline Soto was also spotted, and looking at just the human eye, seeing Madeline Soto in the seat next to Stephen Stearns heading towards school, you would say, hey, I saw Maddie out there. She was in the seat. Maybe she looked like she was asleep. Now, just remember, everybody has an opinion. And on my channel, you're allowed to have opinions and you're allowed to disagree. We're all allowed to agree to disagree, but we don't be disrespectful. We're not disrespectful. There's lots of speculations. I just want to make sure that I address this because I'm waiting to see the end result, or for Daniel to say, yo, I know that I'm talking to social media. I didn't want it to go like this. Let's focus back on Jack and Lily instead of this. All right. So, and yeah, that was a short video, but DD says there are lots of issues in the messages. I don't want to point them all out so they can't correct. Interesting. So DD, we wait from an update from you. I'd like to know what the issues are. And yes, we are all freaking adults here. If you don't like a channel, just go to another channel. We don't go out in public and say, I don't like you. I don't like you. I'm going to insult you now. We don't walk into Best Buy and start insulting someone because we didn't like how they, did something. That's not what adults do. All right. So we're all adults here.
If you've seen my series about Madeline Soto, you'll know that she was also seen in public and even caught on camera, but she was dead at the time.
The stepfather tells me that he's been cooperating with the police, including providing a polygraph test, which he did, and he says he passed.
I do have results, and I don't know if I can share those results, but they were good in my favor. We'll say that.
Daniel didn't say he passed his polygraph, so I'm not going to assume that he did. Did that reporter break the first rule of statement analysis,
Right.
inferring something that wasn't actually said. That montage could obviously go on for much longer, but I think you get the gist. I've been frustrated with how vague they've been, how ambiguous they've been, how inaccurate they've been, and how seemingly naive and gullible they've been to take a suspect at his word without asking for any proof. Now that we're all on the same page, let's watch some decent reporting.
It's been 4 weeks since Daniel Martell has seen his stepchildren. 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing Friday, May 2nd, after they wandered out of their Pictou County home. They have not been found after weeks of extensive searching the heavily wooded area.
Every day when I wake up, it just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings from sadness have just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month, and it's really taken a toll.
On Friday, RCMP say ground search and rescue crews and police will return to the area this weekend, focusing on a nearby pipeline trail where a boot print was previously located.
And that's where DD does come in on this. He says, if someone's lying, it's my business. YouTube police. And you're not the only one, DD. So many people that don't do what you do, that don't analyze things, just straight up say it's my business and you're lying with no evidence to back it up. So I'm sure you're going to have much evidence to back it up when they try to throw a pie in your face, so to speak. But what we want is to find Jack and Lily and throw all the other stuff away. All right. And yeah, absolutely. It's guiltyofcrime@gmail.com. I'll paste it below.
I know that they're working hard and they're using every resource they have, and it makes me hopeful because that's all we have at this point is just hope.
A vigil of flowers and stuffed animals has grown in recent weeks outside the RCMP station in nearby Stellarton. Since May 2nd, when Lily and Jack went missing, people here in Pictou County are still struggling to understand what happened and why there are still no answers.
To be clear, I'm not saying this report is perfect. For example, she said the kids wandered into the woods when that's not in evidence, but it does unambiguously answer one of my biggest questions about this case. And it concludes with a giant red flag from Daniel, so stick with me.
Every day, almost, I go by the RCMP, and it's just so tragic, just so tragic. And I just feel so bad for their whole family. I'm hoping that they find them.
It just doesn't look good, but I hope I'm wrong.
The warden of Pictou County says many people are on edge and children are worried about playing.
You know what? I'm not a lawyer, DD, and you know what? I'm assuming that you'll respond when you see fit. So I appreciate that. I do hope that something comes out and it's retracted if it's not real, right? I was trying to figure that out too, and I didn't get any further. Didn't get anywhere.
Outside.
I think it's mostly a mood of anxiety, maybe, and frustration. They too can't believe that there's not an answer by this long and this many people looking.
The RCMP have confirmed Lily and Jack were seen on camera with family the day before they went missing. Police are asking anyone who was on Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd to share their dash cam or other footage with RCMP. Martell says every detail helps and could lead to finding Lily and Jack.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids. That's the only goal I have at this point.
There's our answer. Lily and Jack were caught on camera the day before they were reported missing. Now I'd like to know where that video came from, what they were doing. Were they slumped over in the back of a car and caught on someone's dash cam, like Madeline Soto? Or were they inside a Walmart, for example, with those family members who still haven't been disclosed yet? Remember, we can't assume that the family members they were with were their mom and her boyfriend. So I give the RCMP kudos for clarifying the word observed from their earlier report. I also give the reporter kudos for leaving in that last part with Daniel. As I often say on the channel, it's never a good sign when someone who's ostensibly looking for a missing person expresses no hope that they'll ever be found, like saying, I'll look for them for the rest of my life, or OJ saying he'll never stop looking for Nicole's killer. And that's because it could be leakage that they know the person won't ever be found because they actually know what happened to them. So it always warrants further investigation.
And right after this, we are going to talk about what we think really happened, and then we'll mic drop and find out later. Now, Linda, you're absolutely right about Elisa Petrov after 5 weeks. but the circumstances behind those scenes, there was more to it than you even know, my friend, than any of us know. So I think the circumstances, now knowing what I know about the circumstances, the parents really did believe that she was alive because of those that weren't given to anybody, that weren't given to anyone outside of law enforcement. I do hope Jack and Lily are alive statistically, and based on law enforcement's evidence that's not really out there. I don't know. I don't know that we're looking for them alive. DD says my older videos are longer. If you want a marathon, just come here to Jay. Yes, I do marathons, and I put DD's. I put little Easter eggs with DD inside of it. All right, this is a marathon. True, true, true.
Another thing he said here also warrants further investigation. He didn't refer to Lily and Jack by name. He just said he'll look for the rest of his life to find these kids. In other words, he was using distancing language when I would have expected any sort of guardian to use the kids' names. Finally, I want to reiterate something that I said in my last video where we analyzed an earlier video with Daniel. And that's how patient and calm he is with the police who still haven't found his kids. That's very unusual for innocent parents. In fact, it has a name, ingratiation, and it's correlated with guilty suspects. And that's because they use excessive friendliness as a tactic to divert suspicion. I've put that card from my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation, on your screen if you want to read it yourself. But I'll just read it to you because I think we're going to see a lot more of this from Daniel.
And I do speed these videos up, support with Steffa. So that's DD actually talks really slow, and you could hear every syllable. So he's not being deceptive. I talk fast because I can't stand waiting for people to talk, and I already know what they're going to say, and they're like, so I understand what you're saying, but I sped this up. DD does not talk fast. That's why I always go at like 1.15 speed. So that's my fault.